This video is going to go over the content in 3.1. We're going to talk about graphs in this section. So going back, we're going to do a quick review of a coordinate. Coordinate is another name for a point. They're written as an ordered pair. They're just dots on a graph. The rectangular coordinate grid that we use is just a pair of lines. We have the x-axis and the y-axis. A point is anywhere on there. You list the x-coordinate first, the y-coordinate second. Quadrants go counterclockwise. So you have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. If the point is on an axis, it's not in a quadrant. So let's plot these points and name them. A is 3, 2. So from the middle, we go over 3, up 2. That's point A. It's in quadrant 1. B, because it's negative, we're going to go left 2 and then down 3. So that's point B, which is in quadrant 3. C is negative 3, 0. So we go left 3 from the middle, and it's on a line, so there's no quadrant. D, we go right 4, down 2, and that's quadrant 4. Quick review on graphing. If you need help on this, let me know. Scatter plots are a way to plot a whole bunch of data. X is usually time or year if you have those variables. And then you can use that information to make predictions on the data. We can do this in a graphing calculator. So you're going to hit the stat button. So your calculator should look, if you have a TI, it's going to look something like this. So the stat button is near the top, a couple over from the green. So if you hit stat and then you hit enter, it brings you into the lists. If you have numbers in there and you want to clear them, you just arrow up so the L1 is highlighted and hit clear. Same thing for L2, clear. You can just type right over those. If they're there, it doesn't matter. So typically, you would put your X numbers in L1, your Y numbers in L2. If you are missing a column, let me know and I can take you through some steps to put those back. So you'd put your data in there. So let's take this scatter plot data and put that in X1. So we would do 1960, enter, 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010. Then we're going to put the Y in L2. So 0.31. Oops, let's try that again. 0.36. What is going on? Clear. Having a moment with my 0.31, 0.36, 1.19, 1.15, 1.56, 2.73. I always like to double check because I type pretty quickly. So now our data's in there. To get a scatter plot, we're now going to hit the second button, which is that blue one. Then hit Y equals, which is right above it. And it brings us to a screen like this. You may have something pop up first that says like plot 1, plot 2. You're going to choose plot 1 and hit enter to get to this screen. Then we want to, so you hit enter to get to plot 1. That's where we are. Then you're on this screen. So you want to choose on. You can do whatever color you want. Then you want to choose the type that looks like a scatter plot. So a bunch of dots. You can do whatever mark you want. That's just what's going to show up on the graph. Then make sure your X list says L1, your Y list says L2. If you need to change those, you can hit second 1 and second 2. So if I were to clear this out on accident and then I hit second 2, it'll type the L2 there. Now this tells our calculator to turn on the scatter plots. If we want to graph it now, we're going to zoom in. So the top middle button up here is zoom. And if we choose number 9, that stat, it is zooming to what we have typed in the stat menu. So if you choose that one, now you can see your scatter plot. I'm going to choose a different mark and see if we can see them better on my screen. There we go. So now all those blue points are our data points. You don't have to do these by hand. You could draw a graph and plot them by hand, or on a test or a quiz, you could just take a picture of this and attach it, and that would count. Make a scatter plot. So we did that. All right. Now we're going to analyze a line graph. So a line graph is just a bunch of things connected, and then we analyze it by using information. So these are hard to see, but they go up by tens. So 1960, 1970, 80, 90, 2000, 2010. And on this side, they go up by 50, 100, 150, and so on. So now we're going to use this graph. Did energy consumption ever decrease? So decreasing is when you go down. So this part looks like it's going down a little bit, and this part it's going down a little bit as I move to the right. So we would just say from 1980 to 1990, and then again from 2000 to 2010. Those are the two periods where it decreased. Estimate the per capita consumption. So we're estimating the amount in 1960 and 2000. So 1960 is right here, which is about 250. And then 2000's right here, which is about 300. Then we want percent change. So this is a formula you will get. You don't have to memorize it. But to find the percent change, you take the new number minus the old number. That's how much it changed. Divide by the old, and then multiply it by 100 to turn into percent. So 2000 is the newer time, so we're going to make that our new number. So to solve this, our new would be the 2000, so that's 300, minus the old, which is 250, divided by the old, and then times 100. So if I put that in the calculator, we do 300 minus 250 equals, divided by 250 gives us a decimal, times 100, and we increased, because we went up, by 20%. That is 3.1. Let me know if you have any questions.